Kenshi has at least a few dozen memorable characters the fans have come to know and love. Many players have spent potentially hours and hours honing each character's skill and getting to know each character's individual personality. Now the question remains, who might be coming back for the prequel, which is set roughly 1,000 years before the first game? Pull up your favorite chair and put your feet up as we explore the opportunities for players to see some of their favorite characters return in Kenshi 2. And just to get some housekeeping out of the way, there will be some minor spoilers for Kenshi lore. Some of the most notable characters are the ones that you can recruit into your squads. Starting of course with Beep. Sadly, we probably won't see the most popular character in all of Kenshi, Beep, the drone hiver with an unstoppable will and a heart of pure gold. If given the chance, I would figure out a way to add Beep, and hopefully not completely break the lore of Kenshi. Perhaps he stumbled into an ancient time portal or a subterranean wormhole in the center of the Ashlands that had not yet decayed and shut down from disuse. Or maybe he is an anomaly himself, a special being able to travel from one period to another as a sort of guardian demigod for players to enjoy with each Kenshi release. Either way, we hope that Beep returns to us with his endearing innocence in Kenshi 2. One of my personal favorite characters is Burn. He's my go-to free recruitable character, and Burn might have a chance of showing up in Kenshi 2. His unique dialogue suggests he is very old, having gone on many adventures before meeting the player at his lonely tower in the Floodlands. And he talks about being a witness to terrible things in a previous war. Another character we might see in Kenshi 2 is Sad Neil, another skeleton who is potentially ancient, especially considering how much he likes to complain. And I think making the case for the skeletons coming back in the prequel makes more sense. However, it is a little more difficult to justify characters like Hammett, Ruka, and Beep coming back with their limited lifespans. Though I do have an idea for them as well, and that comes in the form of doppelgangers. There could be characters that look enough like them and have names that are similar enough to assume that they are the direct ancestors to these characters, and so that we can treat them the same way, almost like they're the same characters. And of course, we could always painstakingly recreate them from recruits that we find throughout the world of Kenshi, provided we still have the same customization tools that we do in the first game. When considering world bosses, the two that came to my mind right away were Cat-Lon and of course Tinfist, the two non-biological world bosses that you would most likely see, once again due to their age but also their popularity. While exploring Kenshi, you'll hear a lot of characters talk about Cat-Lon and how he never resets his memory. This is so that he can retain all of his combat abilities, and it also implies that he is very, very old, and we might have a good chance of seeing him in Kenshi 2. I'm not as sure about Tinfist. You'll have to correct me in the comments, but I think he and Cat-Lon know each other, so I think they're both pretty old, so I think there is a pretty good chance we might see him as well. I think primarily we're going to see brand new factions in Kenshi 2. This is mostly to do with it being 1,000 years before the current timeline, and I believe most of these factions arose from the most recent conflicts. That's not to say that we're not going to see early versions of the current factions, perhaps small cults and small settlements that have little hints and perhaps Easter eggs that point to where these groups are headed. The last thing I want to talk about is wildlife. I think we're going to see a lot of the same wildlife in Kenshi 2 only because we've already seen concept art that reflects this idea. However, I do think we're going to see quite a few more species of wildlife that perhaps died out in the most recent conflicts, but I think we're going to have a lot more variety of animals to fight, befriend, or perhaps even ride into battle. So what are your favorite characters that you would like to see in Kenshi 2? Are you hoping the devs find a miraculous way to get Beep into the game? Maybe you don't care about any of the old characters and you're excited to see all the new ones. Sound off in the comments below about your favorite Kenshi characters and how you'd like to see them in the new Kenshi 2 prequel. Most of all, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. I'll see you in the next video.